Here come the Tigers. Ball State and Auburn, our matchup tonight from the Plains. Let's send it down to the field, and Jen Hildreth.
Well, Bob, a key element in tonight's game is going to be turnovers. If Auburn wants to continue to thrive and Ball State wants to survive, this is going to be a very important element to watch. You know, Auburn has been among the best in the country at taking the ball away from their opponents. It's something that defensive coordinator Ted Roof really emphasizes, and you can see the results on the field. The numbers last year versus this year, obviously much better, +7, that turnover margin. And then on the other side of the ball, Ball State has really struggled taking care of the football. They already have 9 turnovers, including 4 interceptions last week against Army. And the coaches tell us for freshman quarterback Kelly Page, it's mostly mental. He's still trying to figure out what to do when he gets in trouble. We'll see how he responds early here tonight, Bob.
Thank you very much, Jen. And Stan Parrish is the man who guides them. He was the offensive coordinator here last year and then ascended to the throne as the head coach for the bowl game. And Stan Parrish looking for that first win as the Ball State head coach. His opposite number, Gene Chizik, hasn't lost a game. In fact, he's 3-0 this year, and patrolling the Auburn sidelines as a defensive coordinator, he's won 18 in a row.
And 10 in a row right here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. So he has not tasted defeat on this field, nor does he want to.
The third overall matchup, Auburn won 2 big ones in 01 and again in 05 and have never lost to a MAC team. Ball State won the toss. They've elected to receive, and we're just about ready for football here on the Plains. The weather conditions, thunderstorms in the forecast along with some wind, and the humidity, yes, it's up there. We can vouch for that at 89%. The temperature after the shower a couple of hours ago has dropped down to the low 70s. Number 6 is Eric Williams. Toriel Gibson is to his left. This is going to be Williams from the 8. And stepped out of bounds at the 30, right in front of that Auburn sideline. You talked about him earlier, Dave. Tell us about this redshirt freshman again, Kelly Page.
Kelly Page, tremendous upside on this kid. He's a great athlete. Ran for a touchdown last week against Army. He has the ability to run and throw the football. You heard Jen talk about how he's still trying to learn the quarterback position at the college level. When to throw it away, when to throw into coverage. You hope that he doesn't throw as much into coverage if you're Stan Parrish tonight, because Auburn will put it in the end zone.
And Page will go up top, right over the middle and incomplete. Zane Fakes was the intended receiver. You take a look at this offensive line, which has been completely rebuilt. Michael Switzer is the only man back from a year ago. Everybody else a freshman up front. Our Toyota starting lineups, the backs and receivers for Ball State. We talked about Mike Lewis. He'll be a major factor offensively tonight for Ball State. He's the lone setback. Corey Sykes is the motion man. And Lewis with a couple of yards to the 32. Auburn defensively tonight. Antonio Coleman at that defensive end spot, always a guy to keep your eye on, as is this man, Craig Stevens. He was named the Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Week last week. And the Auburn secondary, Nico Thorpe, is also terrific on special teams. There's a look at Stevens on 3rd and long.
11 tackles and an interception returned for a touchdown for Stevens last week.
Page, the pocket dissolves. He lets it go, and the pass is incomplete as it went off the fingertips of Gibson. And Auburn gets a 3-and-out to start the night.
Boy, it's a well-thrown ball, though, by Kelly Page right here. Throws the ball out over the shoulder. It's man coverage in the secondary. Had a corner route from his slot receiver, Gibson. Gibson just couldn't quite track it down. Pretty good throw from a redshirt freshman in this environment.
Scott Covanda is the punter for Ball State. He's already punted the ball 17 times in 3 games. Anthony Gully is the deep man for Auburn. Gully will make a fair catch. Bobbles it. Did he lose the football? He did, and Ball State's got it. Oh, this has been a bugaboo for Auburn. They finally settled on the true freshman Gully after last week, and wouldn't you know it, he coughs it up on his first attempt, and it's recovered by Kyle Hoke of Ball State.
Yeah, calls a fair catch and then let the ball kind of get into him. You saw him peek just a little bit, No reason to. He'd already called fair catch. No reason to get the head down. Watch it all the way into the stomach. Good job by Ball State. Good coverage and a great opportunity on the road for Ball State to put some points on the board.
Auburn has struggled with its special teams, and that a big goof gives Ball State the football inside the 20. Out of the shotgun for the redshirt freshman, and it is Lewis. And he bags it down to the 11.
It's a great opportunity to work on something. If you're Auburn, the coaches work on each and every week. It's sudden change situations. They have a sudden change drill in practice where the coach will blow a particular whistle or horn, and everybody has to run to another field, line up, and run a play. Well, this is one of those situations that Coach Izzik has been trying to get them ready for. Auburn, in a sudden change situation, backed up in their own red zone.
2nd and 4. The quarterback will keep it to the 7. That's Kelly Page. Page that time came up and made the tackle out of the secondary.
Well, this is the classic zone read play. Kelly Page, we talked about, he ran for a touchdown last week against Army. Takes a big shot from Bates, the freshman from the secondary, but not until he got the first down. Good job by Page to read the edge and get into the middle for Ball State.
You're looking at defensive coordinator Ted Roof cheering on his defenders. It's 1st and goal from the 7. Page throws to the corner. And out of bounds goes Orsbon. Briggs Orsbon, a true sophomore, making the grab. 2nd on the team in receptions to Michael Lewis.
This shows a lot of confidence by that Ball State staff to let the redshirt freshman throw the football on 1st down inside the 10-yard line on a man-to-man route outside. He does a good job of getting the ball out and puts him in a great position here on 2nd down.
Lewis waits, heads to the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Ball State. The Cardinals have stunned Auburn, cashing in after the fumble on the punt return, and Lewis sticks it in. 6-0 Ball State with the extra point coming.
He had 22 rushing touchdowns last year in a monster year, 1,736 yards. This is just his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. Been much tougher with this freshman offensive line in front of him, but a great hesitation move to get in the end zone.
Ian McGarvey is the place kicker out of the Tanner Justice hole, and it's 7-0 Ball State. The fumbled punt by Anthony Gully set up Ball State, and they take advantage. Michael Lewis in from short yardage to make it 7-0 Redbirds. For the 4th consecutive week, Gene Chiswick's Auburn Tigers fall behind in a ball game. They did it in week 1 against Louisiana Tech, then Mississippi State after leading 14-0. The Bulldogs led 17-14. And then last week down 2 touchdowns in the 1st quarter, ultimately 21-10 against West Virginia before roaring back to win. But that's not a habit you want to get into in the SEC.
No, there's no question about it, but it certainly has worked out from a recipe standpoint for Gene Chiswick's team so far this season.
Mario Fannin from the goal line. And a good hit on special teams out to the 25-yard line. I think one of the great stories in college football is this young man, Chris Todd, with what he's overcome and what he has developing into this year.
Yeah, no question about it. He's really absorbed what Gus Malzahn wants to do offensively. He does a good job of taking care of the football. Only 1 interception on the year to 4 touchdowns last week. And boy, he did a great job of commanding because they took away the running game. And I'm talking about West Virginia ganged up against the run. So Chris Todd shift gears through 4 touchdown passes to lead the Tigers back.
Todd will throw. And he goes to Terrell Zachary. And the catch takes it out to about the 30-yard line. Terrell Zachary, the junior from Wadley, Alabama.
Now, Zachary's another one of those guys. He's only had 2 receptions last year, but has stepped up big. Already 6 receptions on the year and a touchdown. He's become one of those guys that Todd trusts immensely in this offense when they go to the air.
Fan in the motion man. And on the toss to McCaleb. Out of bounds for a first down at the 37-yard line. Changes up front. A true freshman, John Sullen, from here in Auburn, makes his first collegiate start. Isom and Bostrom both out for Auburn today. And for the backs and receivers, our Toyota lineup, a talented group to say the least. Here's the snap on the Wildcat to Cody Burns, and he gets it out to the 40-yard line.
That's Cody's versatility. We talked about it from the top. Cody was the starting quarterback here last year. Lost out in the competition to Chris Todd, but accepted his role to become a receiver and their Wildcat quarterback.
On the reverse. A missed tackle. Zachary to the 45.
Boy, a really good job by Tony Martin, the linebacker for Ball State, to stay at home and stay ready for the reverse. 47 is Tony Martin. He's going to come across and really force Zachary deep. Great job of pushing him deep, which really delayed Zachary getting up the field, and a huge collision along the sideline. And good job there by Martin to do his job, but Ball State defender still down on the field. Huge collision with Zachary on the sideline.
So an official stoppage here at the 11:15 mark. We believe this is Charlie Todd, the cornerback.
See if we can see what happens here. Zachary really just going to lower his shoulder and come in. Great job of attacking low. Charlie Todd, the corner, comes up and tries to take the legs away from Zachary. Does a really good job of limiting the gain to a short gain. And really a big shot in the middle of his back really on that play. Charlie Todd, an interesting story. A young man that his team found when on an internet tape. He was a junior college player, and they found him, and he immediately fit into the program, now starting for him at corner.
And since he's walking off pretty much under his own power, we'll tell the story about his hometown, Bear, Delaware. It's a town that was named after a tavern on a roadside between Wilmington and Dover. But Charlie Todd has found his way to Muncie, Indiana, and may have just had the breath knocked out of him. A vicious hit with Zachary, and comes to the Ball State sideline.
Third down to number 46.
So here come the Tigers on 3rd and short. Ben Tate is going to get stacked up, and it will be a 4th down. So a credit to the Cardinal defense near midfield to come up with a stop on 3rd down.
So we mentioned the youth on the offensive side of the football for Ball State, but on the defensive side they have a lot of veteran players back. It's a defense that shifted from a 3-4 to a 4-man line under Coach Doug Graber, and it looks like Gene Chizik has decided to go for it here at his own 46-yard line on 4th and a long one.
And the crowd roars its approval of that decision.
This is a little too long to think about quarterback sneak here.
McCaleb, can he get outside? No! Ball State takes over on downs.
Decided to go with the speed play. Took Ben Tate out, put Ontario McCaleb in, who's a burner to the edge. And Ball State does a great job of stringing this play out. A lot of defenders outside, keeping leverage on McCaleb, and they get him on the ground. Excellent job of attacking from the secondary. Kyle Kuntz comes up to the safety spot, along with Travis Freeman from the linebacker spot to help get him on the ground. Another turn. You got to count that as a turnover.
And the Ball State Cardinals get it in Auburn territory, and Eric Williams was the ball carrier.
Yeah, Eric Williams, the true freshman.
It was over. Dead ball foul. Personal foul, number 77 in the offense. Personal foul, number 21 in the defense. Penalties offset. 2nd down.
Just about everybody in the country has their version of snapping it to a playmaking type player, and Eric Williams, the true freshman running back, came in that time in their version, if you will, of what has been dubbed the Wildcat for everybody. No gain there. A great job of Auburn taking away the run. And there's the extracurriculars after the play.
2nd and 10. And the throw to the outside is complete, as making the grab is Jeremy Hill, who gets to play back in the Southeast. He's from Marietta, Georgia. Walter McFadden jumped on his back, and as you can see, the rain has started again here at Jordan-Hare.
Well, I'm very impressed so far with Kelly Page, the quarterback. Just a little boot play off of the zone read, throw it out in the flat, get the ball out on time. He's done an outstanding job right now early in the game in a hostile situation.
Busted play. Page will run, trying to get a block on the corner and take it down at the 36. Zach Etheridge came up to nullify Page and the Cardinals. It's going to be marked, I believe, at the 36. This is going to be close to a first down.
They've signaled 4th down, just shy of the first down. Had to reach the Auburn 36 for the first down. And this is one that is close enough, should you decide to lean forward from a quarterback sneak standpoint, that you think that if you get some push, you could get it, but not out of the gun.
Now Auburn takes a timeout. And we'll take the break with them. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. 7-0 Ball State. In the rain at Jordan-Hare, 4th down and about a half a yard for Ball State. And the Cardinals come up. Now Kelly Page moves under center. The throw outside, it's complete. First down, Ball State to the 25. And Zane fakes the tight end. Loose ball. And Auburn has it. And it looked like it was a takeaway as they were going down, and coming out of there with it is Zach Etheridge. The wrestling match that ensued, Etheridge with the takeaway.
Well, first of all, a gutsy call by Ball State. They play action fake, boot the quarterback. They get exactly what they want, and a great job of Etheridge raking the ball out as Fakes laid it on the ground. Watch Etheridge strip with the left hand. Watch him rip with the left hand, get the ball out. Boy, it was extremely close to Fakes being on the ground. But Etheridge gets the strip and the recovery.
And this play will be reviewed.
Well, I love the play call there. The respect of the Auburn Tiger defense. Get your quarterback out on the edge, run pass option. Excellent throw in the flat to Fakes, who's a true freshman in his own right. And let's see what the knee gets down before the ball comes out. We can't see the ball from that angle. Watching the left knee. Well, I don't know you can see anything there because Etheridge's body kind of in the way and blocking the play.
That last angle, fellas, I believe is our best look. And it's really hard to tell. Inconclusive. The play on the field, the call on the field stands.
Call on the field was a fumble in Auburn football. So if they cannot see something from that, it certainly is difficult to tell whether the right knee had gotten on the ground before the ball came out. Another different angle here.
Now the knee is down.
But he does not have the football
gone
in his hand. So I would say based on what we've seen, that's a Zach Etheridge strip and recover for fumble for Auburn.
And hasn't that been the Auburn story for this defense, the takeaway?
It's been a defense that's given up some yardage, really has struggled on third downs, is last in the SEC in third down conversions defensively, but they have taken the football away to the tune of 11 now on the year. 8 interceptions, and this is their 3rd fumble recovery, should it stand. Obviously, the replay booth taking a little bit extra time on this one. Very difficult to see.
on the field. Stands is called. Auburn ball, first down.
Kenny Williamson and his outstanding crew. And Stan Parrish is hot.
And I think that's more of a product of they did not have a good enough look at it to where you could change the call. It was nothing definitive. Stan Parrish extremely upset. He was right there on the sideline looking at it.
So Auburn gets it, 1st and 10 from its own 25. Tate stacked up. These takeaways, Jen Hildreth, don't come by accident, do they?
No, you know, we talked about how important they are to this Auburn defense, and Ted Roof said he has Takeaway Tuesdays where the first drill of the week focuses on takeaways like fumble recoveries. And he says, you talk about coaches getting what they demand, they get what they reward. He rewards those takeaways, doesn't he? He puts those pictures up on the wall of the defensive meeting room.
Did you ever have your picture up on the meeting room wall, Dave Archer?
You know what? I don't know if it was for a good reason. Defensive players love to have their pictures on the wall. I don't know what it is. They don't really do that with offense. More of a team concept on offense. Well thrown ball there by Chris Todd.
Darvin Adams. And the ball will be marked for the first down, I believe, over the 35.
Young man that's been a pleasant surprise for this team. They felt like he had the talent. Darvin Adams. He comes in today leading this team in receptions. That would be if it. This looks like the one they may. They're going to check see if it's a first down. But Adams leads his team in receiving. You see second in the SEC in receptions with 15 coming in tonight. That's his 16th catch. He's added 4 touchdowns to that, Bob.
Yeah, it's just hard to believe, Dave. Here's a guy, Darvin Adams. As you can see, it's just inches short. He had 3 catches last year, all in the same game against Tennessee Martin, and that was it. That was the extent of his output a year ago, and now he's the featured guy.
Well, it might take a year. You know, as a redshirt freshman last year, he was still trying to learn the game coming off a redshirt year. He got that year under his belt, and now here he is stepping forward. You give a kid a year of getting a feel for what it's like to be on the field. He's definitely stepped to the task so far for the Auburn Tigers.
His 15 catches, the second most in the SEC.
Yeah.
Another great story here on the Plains. So it will be 3rd down and about the length of the football as Chris Todd works out of the shotgun. Ben Tate, he's all plugged up, nowhere to go, looking for a hole in that right side that never opened up. And Edens leading the charge for Ball State. Big Robert, the junior out of Detroit. And I have been impressed with a couple of these defensive stops by the Cardinals.
And a little surprise there. 3rd and like the length of the football. A play that's kind of gone by the wayside. We saw it a little bit earlier today, the Mississippi State LSU game. Short yardage plays that were not picked up by not going to the quarterback sneak. Just being able to lean forward off that big center Ryan Pugh and get the first down instead of going from the gun and hand it to a guy that's 5 yards in the backfield.
Clinton Durst is the punter for Auburn. Deep man is Briggs Osborne. And here comes the kick by Durst. At 5 punts, only 1 was returned last week against West Virginia.
Dead ball foul, delay of game on the offense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Gene Chizik extremely involved with his special teams. He virtually coaches all that stuff. He heads all that up, and a lot of window dressing on that play, trying to get Ball State maybe to jump offside on 3rd and short. You saw the huge shift, but he definitely did not want to take a delay of game there. He was a little irritated with that.
Horsbond, fair catch at the 37. 37-yard punt and a timeout. 6:29, first quarter, 7-0 Cardinals. Thank you very much, Fred. And in the second quarter in Athens, it's Georgia 14-3. Halftime in Lexington. Alabama completes a big win over Arkansas, 35-7 over in Tuscaloosa.
Boy, an impressive effort by Alabama's defense to shut down the #1 passing team in the country.
Ball State leading 7-0 here. 1st and 10 from its own 34-yard line. On the delay, Lewis to the 36. Greg Stevens. who was so impressive last week against West Virginia, coming up to make the tackle.
He comes in #2 this season in tackles so far, had 11 last week, and the interception you mentioned, Bob, for the touchdown against West Virginia that really got the ball rolling for them late in the football game against West Virginia to go on and win. Big win over the Mountaineers right here.
Complete, out of bounds at the 42 to Briggs Orsbon.
Talked about Craig Stevens and his effort last week. He was all over the field. Did a great job from the linebacker spot, and the tough task when you start talking about trying to tackle the West Virginia players. Here's the big play. The interception tips the middle screen and then gets in the end zone. Did a great job of playing all over the field, and that's a tough task when you talk about trying to control West Virginia's offense.
Kelly Page has hit his last 4 passes. And Dave, here's another 3rd down situation for the Auburn D. Can he make it 5 in a row? Yes, and a 1st down at the 45. Briggs Orsbon, the true sophomore from Convoy, Ohio, with another catch, and the Ball State Cardinals move the chains.
Well, excellent protection, first of all. A little slide protection. Good job of picking up Bynes coming through the middle of the linebacker, and then a well-thrown ball on time. And that's the key now as you start to watch this game unfold for Kelly Page. Can he get the ball out on time? That means his guys are winning down the field against the man coverage that Auburn will come after him with.
Page came into the game under 50% on completion percentage. Mike Whale Lewis to midfield. Josh Bynes stopped him. Page came in, Dave, 42 for 92, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, playing a tremendous opening quarter.
Yeah, he only completing just over 45% of his passes, but he has really settled in. You know, you thought maybe this team on offense would have some jitters. I don't see it. They've come in and have played very clean so far.
Lewis to the 48-yard line and into Auburn territory. Here's our thumb it in question. What is the most intimidating place to play in the SEC?
Wow.
You see the choices. Hard to go wrong with any of those. Fred Hickman in our Atlanta studios will update this throughout the show and give you the results.
And the people over in Columbia right now are probably saying, where's Williams-Brice Stadium? Why are they not on there?
Pressure and a sack, and the ball pops loose. Josh Bynes came up with a loose ball after Craig Stevens popped it loose.
Well, you heard Jen Hildreth talk about the turnovers for Auburn. You also heard her talk about Kelly Page and learning how to play quarterback. When you eat the football now, you got to know they're going to try to tear it out of there. When he decides to cover this up, now I got to keep the ball under wraps. Great job of stripping by Bates. And Bynes, the linebacker, comes in and scoops it up. So good job of team defense there by the Auburn Tigers.
Tate turns the corner and it's back just to the line of scrimmage. It will be 2nd and 10 yards to go for the Tigers as they have the football at the Auburn, starting the drive at the Ball State 28-yard line.
Very impressed with, you mentioned it earlier, this Ball State defensive front, really the front 7, the linebackers included. They've been able to limit the ground attack so far for the Tigers.
Todd. Complete to the 10-yard line. And there's Darvin Adams coming up with another big gainer for 15 yards.
Excellent call by Gus Malzahn. He realizes the linebackers are committing to the run. As soon as they step to the run, you see him step up against play action. He throws the ball right over the top to Darvin Adams on the deep end cut.
Tate. Good pursuit by Ball State. And Tate gets to the 7-yard line. Brandon Carnegie, junior from Novi, Michigan.
This Auburn Tiger offense has not had a problem getting the ball in the end zone this year. You see by that graphic right there.
Touchdown. Tommy Trot.
What great patience by Chris Todd on this play. We're going to get a chance to see this here after the point after touchdown, but just a great job by Todd to buy time. Offensive line did a great job for him, but he waited on Tommy Trot to get the ball into the back of the end zone.
Wes Byram adds his 17th consecutive PAT of the year. Tommy Trot, the veteran, the senior from Montgomery.
Big tight end Tommy Trot made a big catch last week late in the football game. Trot's number 5, going to come from the right side of your screen, and he's going to get into this area here in the back. Wait, and there it is, right on the money. Good job of Trot realizing the defender was coming to him. He uncovers behind the defender. Todd has time to wait because of the offensive line's effort up front, and a well-thrown ball. Trot secures the throw, and you see Trot hand the football to the official.
So the offense gathers, and Gus Malzahn had this to say about his squad and its offensive touchdowns and handing the ball over to the referee as soon as it's done. That's what we do. Our guys are going to hand the football to the referee and celebrate as a team, and that's the way we do things at Auburn. And here's an example. Trot makes the touchdown catch, hands it to the referee, and then the celebration begins.
That's right. That's classy. That's classy right there. Gus Malzahn.
So this game tied at 7. And this kick is going to go out of bounds, so Ball State is going to have a chance to take it out at the 40-yard line. And one thing they have not lacked in this game is field position.
Well, it's an area that's really bothered Coach Gene Chizik is the special teams play. And we've seen it already, a dropped punt return by Gully. And now the kick out of bounds, just the operation of his special teams. You see him shaking his head. He's not thrilled with it all. His punt coverage unit is 117th in the country. And it's not what is not mirrored how well his team has played on offense and defense. He wants to shore some of that up tonight.
Here comes redshirt freshman Kelly Page in a 7-7 game. Page will run it. Picks up 3. Craig Stevens, yet another tackle. You mentioned the West Virginia effort last week, 11 tackles, and that was a career high for Stevens.
He's already
picking up where he left off.
He's already been all over the field. I think you mentioned his name already close to a half-dozen times here early in the football game.
2nd and 8. Quail Lewis, who had the Ball State rushing touchdown earlier in the period, catches the pass and gets decleated at the 39-yard line. What a hit by Bates.
Well, it's a great job by Bates. He's got Lewis in man coverage. They bring Freeman off the edge in a blitz, so Bates has him in man coverage. He beats the offensive line out there, trying to set a screen up to the right side. He beats the offensive line out there and lays the lick on the big-time runner for Ball State.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 9. Aaron Bates, a freshman. Pressure. Sack. And this time, Kelly hangs on to the football. But terrific pressure by Blanc. Mike moved in to start tonight's game, the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida, and that's his 3rd sack of the season.
3rd sack on the year. Great job. A club move to the inside, beats the guard, just flies back. Kit O'Brien, the freshman, another freshman up front. And boy, you talk about an indoctrination to football for this offensive line against the big-time SEC defense.
And a lot of indecision by Gully, it seemed. But they do let it roll down to the 20.
I think Gully's trying to play his way off the punt return team.
A 47-yard punt, no return, but there is the question of a penalty marker that was thrown back at the Ball State 35. Checking with the defensive captains. So Auburn decides.
Illegal formation on the offense. The penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
So they decide to take the penalty. And another punt coming up for Ball State.
Tonight's game is in high definition, presented by Philips HD.
Bob Rathman, Dave Archer, Jen Hildreth, and our crew from Auburn. In a 7-7 game, Stan Parrish and the Cardinals led 7-0. Had another opportunity negated by a fumble after a great pass reception that gave Ball State a first down driving into Auburn territory. The Chris Todd touchdown passes even things, and now the punt. Gully steps up, makes the catch. And a return of just a couple of yards and another flag.
Looked like the ball was
the
out
ball
as well.
popped loose, yes.
Like I said,
it will be Auburn ball.
Like I said, Gully's trying to play his way off of the punt return unit, and he's probably pretty close.
A 39-yard punt, 4-yard return, and Anthony Gully, a true freshman, coming out of Brantley, Alabama, a 1A high school, into the bright lights of Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he is struggling tonight.
Auburn was lucky to
During the kick,
get the ball back.
holding on the return team. The penalty is 10 yards for being forced from the end of the kick. First down.
Yeah, get a hold right in this.
There's the throw down.
From the 22.
So the penalty and then the fumble. So it's marked back to the 22, 1st and 10 for Auburn. Todd swings it to McCaleb. Nothing there. And again, Ball State, Dave, doing a nice job at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they really are doing a good job there. That time, Brandon Crawford, great story. Brandon Crawford there, great job of getting outside and making the play. Kind of leader on this defensive football team, and they have played well. Doug Graber moved this team from a 3-4 to a 4-man line, and Crawford is one of those edge guys that has really played well for him.
Good protection, great catch by Adams. Out to the 32 with the defender draped on him. Darvin Adams turns that into a first down for the Tigers as we come to the end of the opening period.
At the end of the first quarter.
The first quarter is in the books, and we've got a tie game. Ball State 7 and into the game, and kudos to Ball State.
Yeah, really, Ball State has come in here, and the big stage has not affected them at all. Great job of turning the turnover into a touchdown. And then the defensive effort has really been what's stuck out here. Their ability to slow down this ground attack that is 6th in the country for the Auburn Tigers. Great job of Ball State in their front 7 of taking away the run. Look for Auburn now to start trying to throw the football down the field. They found some nice creases down the field because Ball State is committing those 7 players to the run and not really taking away the intermediate throwing passing game.
Tate out of the backfield. Close to a first down. Our Academy first quarter summary. These numbers from Academy Sports and Outdoors. You talked about the rushing game for Auburn. Key point, 263 yards per game. And tonight, 23 in the first quarter. But more here from Ben Tate in the first down.
Well, we saw on first down, that time Ball State on first down played a zone coverage. And a good job of Chris Todd laying the ball off underneath the Ben Tate. Now they come right back with the ground attack. And so now a nice mix here. You start to get some success in one area. You can feed the other. They've had some success throwing the football. You see Todd 7 for 7 in the game. Now the ground attack trying to pick up.
Tate, that time, stumbling over Ryan Pugh. And Travis Freeman with the tackle. Let's go down to the field, and Jen on a key injury.
Yeah, some big injury news from the Auburn sideline. Just got word that Cody Burns is out for the rest of the game with a quad injury. And you guys talked early, Dave, about how key he could be in this offense.
Yeah, he's a guy that really affects them when they get down in the red zone. We've already seen him once tonight, and that was probably the play he got hurt on, the Wildcat play. Big part of what they do.
Zachary in the flat, down the sideline. Touchdown, Auburn. 46 yards, and the Tigers go on top.
Boy, just a short throw, and with speed, you can turn it into something big. And Zachary showed big speed on the sideline as he took the little swing screen to the slot receiver and turned it into a 44-yard touchdown.
Wes Byron's kick out of the Josh Harris hole. And it's 14-7 Auburn.
A lot of people for Ball State committed inside to stop the run. You see him stacked in. Good catch on the snap, first of all, but a little swing screen. Gets a block on the outside by Wiesner. And Zachary with the speed. Speed kills, and here it is. I mean, this is well defended for the most part. Make that tackle. But once he got by, there wasn't anybody going to catch him. Interesting there, Jay Wiesner got the block, number 82. Watch Wiesner get the block here. Wiesner's the guy that got the block on the Mario Fannin 82-yard touchdown last week. So these wide receivers don't just catch touchdowns. They block for one another down the field.
Zachary in the Louisiana Tech game set the Auburn record. He caught a 93-yarder on a play similar to that you just get him isolated out there with speed and green grass, and he turned it into a big touchdown.
Well, that's just what the doctor ordered for Gene Chizik and his team. Really a slow start for the Auburn Tigers. Trooper Taylor trying to crank this crowd up.
A little subdued in the rain. Not the student section.
Well, they
Some
really
of the adults, but boy, they make a lot of noise.
They really haven't had a lot to cheer about. Auburn has came out kind of sluggish, slowly. The fumble on the punt allowed Ball State to get on the board early. But now Chris Todd has responded with 2 touchdown passes, and they've seen some athletic plays from both sides of the football.
This is Eric Williams. Penalty flag. Williams on the return over the 25 to the 27. But the question of the penalty to be decided.
I think there's at least 2 illegal blocks on this play.
During the return, there were 2 fouls. Holding on the return team, number 24. That penalty will be declined. Block in the back against number 23 in return. That penalty will be enforced. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So there you have it. And Stan Parrish not happy.
Well, a pretty obvious block in the back against Nico Thorpe coming down through the middle of the field. It was an easy call for the official. But what it does is it backs Ball State up now inside their own 10-yard line. And we saw in the clips the Stevens interception against West Virginia was about in this area of the field where they created a turnover and got in the end zone. And it's kind of something they've gotten used to doing. Antonio Coleman intercepted a pass against Mississippi State and took it back for a touchdown.
Penalty yardage pushes it back to the 8-yard line. And a big tackle at the 1-yard line. Zach Clayton, number 98. Boy, he came through that line like it was shot.
Clayton, 98 to the right side of your screen. Defensive tackle, fights through the block of the offensive guard. Just an outstanding play. Tackle for loss. That's just a head-to-head play. He won at the point of attack. Slid off the block and got into the backfield.
That's Clayton's first tackle for loss this year. He had 7.5 of those last year.
Right in front of the student section for the Auburn Tigers, and this is a tough spot for Kelly Page.
Lewis, and that's going to be a safety. There is a penalty flag.
Illegal formation on the offense. You have 4 players in the backfield. That penalty is declined. 50.
Wow. Josh Bynes shoots through like he shot out of a cannon on this play. That defensive unit feeding off the student section in that end of Jordan-Hare Stadium, and Bynes blows through the guard center gap and makes the play in the backfield.
Boy, you talk about blowing up a play. Oh, man. And Stan Parrish is letting Kenny Williamson, the referee, have it. And some of his coaches have to get between them so more flags don't come flying.
Well, Stan's been upset since the fumble that he thought was down early in the first quarter when he had a player catch a ball out in the flat. But right now, the Tigers are in control.
Auburn is starting to make the big plays. They got one offensively and the touchdown pass to Zachary. Now the defense, and Josh Bynes making a big play.
And we talked about how opportunistic this defense is. And Michael Lewis, the big-time running back for Ball State, tremendous year last year behind a veteran offensive line. Now a young offensive line, and they're struggling. It's got to be frustrating for the senior to try to get it rolling.
Fannin. Can he break it? Shoved out of bounds, a penalty flag. Well, here's another guy with tremendous speed. If it sticks, 38 yards on the return. The hold will bring it back.
Well, and another mistake on special teams. And
During the return, holding on receiving team, number 35. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
let's take a look at this play, Bob. Just a tremendous play by the middle linebacker, Josh Bynes. He's right in the middle of your screen, right on the hash marks, lined up just right of the center. He's going to come straight ahead. Tremendous read, straight ahead, and a beautiful one-on-one tackle for the safety. Boy, that's middle linebacker 101 right there. Great job by Josh Bynes. Leads his team in tackles coming into tonight's game.
McCaleb. One man to beat. And they're going to say that he's down at the 1-foot line. 63 yards on Terrio McCaleb.
Yeah, I'd be interested to look at this. McCaleb rolls on the defenders. He goes in. He is ruled at the 1 and maybe the knee touchdown. Let's see if he gets in because he falls. There's the knee. Okay, he falls on it. Let's let it go as he rolls on top of the defender and rolls in the end zone. So good call by the officials to rule it down at the 1.
And McCaleb will get the 6.
Now, see, you have to do that as an offensive coordinator now. McCaleb just ripped off a big run. You owe it to him and the offensive line that you give it to him one more time and let him shove it in the end zone. But do you see the explosiveness of this Gus Malzahn offense? We saw the Zachary swing screen for a touchdown, big speed, and then the wide pitch to McCaleb, and he's in the end zone. Just explosive offense, and it's going to bode them well because they're going to need it as they get into the tough part of this schedule.
63 yards of this precocious freshman. The former sprinter from Fort Meade, Florida, Ontario McCaleb, took it down to the 1. And then Gus said, take it to the house, my man. And in he goes for the score. Ontario McCaleb, Fred Hickman with that last touchdown to make it 23-7. As Auburn really getting it rolling now. After trailing 7-0 in the opening quarter and a very sluggish opening period for the Tigers, they've got it going their way in the second.
Yeah, really similar to the way the weather was prior to kickoff. Kind of sluggish and sloppy, but they cranked it up and they've made some plays. Can't afford to get off these kind of starts once the season starts next week for them against Tennessee, but they've been able to recover here and put together some pretty good plays.
Eric Williams for Ball State. To the 23. As we go down to the field, and Jen Hildreth.
Bob, you know, Gus Malzahn, he kind of sounds like North Carolina basketball coach Roy Williams when you ask him about his offense. He says he always wants to go faster. Tigers came into this game averaging 78.7 plays per game. That's 4th best in the country. And he said, yeah, but I'd like to have 80. And he said there are certain situations, certainly, where they try to slow it down, but that is all on the coaches. For the players, he just wants these guys to think about nothing but going fast.
We're talking with not only Gus, but head coach Gene Chizik yesterday as the throw comes to the flat and the hit is made. And I asked Gene about Gus's background. He spent many years, 14 in high school football, 13 as a head coach, and took 7 of those high school clubs to championship games and won 3 state titles along the way. And my question to Gene was, is it his teaching ability that makes him so special? And Gene said, yes, it was. And the fact that he is an outstanding teacher, his attention to detail is second to none.
Yeah, I asked Gus, after games, does he go watch some other games, unwind? He goes, nope, I move on to the next game.
And the throw comes to Jeremy Hill, the sliding grab up to the 35-yard line.
Again, Kelly Page doing a nice job of trying to get the ball out on time. You've seen what's happened to him. Auburn is too fast defensively to hold the football. So if he can come out of play fakes and get the ball out on time, that means his outside guys are doing a good job against this tight coverage that Auburn has clamped down on them over the last quarter or so.
Corey Sykes comes into the ball game as the setback. And Sykes rolled up at the 37, a penalty marker. Josh Bynes coming over a game. And looked like Sykes got it right in the face.
A tremendous jump off the ball by Jake Ricks.
Offside on the defense, number 91. The penalty is 5 yards in the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Big Jake Ricks was the man that jumped.
I thought he got off the ball awfully quick. He almost took the handoff from Kelly Page there. Watch this, he's close to taking his hand off. Sykes says, wait a minute. He doesn't have the right colored jersey on. Trying to find a guy up front to replace Senderick Marks, a tremendous football player in the middle. Ted Roof trying to find those guys that can dominate in the middle of the defensive line. Jake Ricks, the senior, played alongside Senderick last year. Of course, Senderick Marks went on to the National Football League with the Tennessee Titans. Just a tremendous inside player, and it's kind of what you expect out of Auburn. Tracy Rocker on that sideline. You expect a dominant defensive lineman in the middle.
Page, pressure from behind. And Page takes it up to the 42, and it will be second down. Our thumb and poll question tonight, the most intimidating place to play in the SEC. And I guess we just have only 5 slots available because you could list a lot of places.
Well, you could go anywhere in the SEC for the most part, and it should be on the list. But there's 5 very good candidates right there.
Standard text rates apply. Fred Hickman with the update at halftime. Pressure from the corner, and the pass is incomplete. Stevens again creating havoc.
Yeah, Page comes out of the play fake, and Stevens is coming all the way on the blitz. This is what you see. You come out of the play fake, snap your head around, and there's Stevens, the SEC Defensive Player of the Week, right in your mug. He tries to get it out quickly, but just couldn't get enough on the football to get his receiver in his flat. And now a third down situation that Auburn has handled pretty well tonight, but has not handled well during the year. Last in the SEC in third downs on defense.
Making the grab is Orsbon, and that's going to be a first down.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line of Ball State here, because Auburn really does a pretty good job in their zone coverage of taking away the throw that Page wanted. But the big guys, you talked about how young this team is. 3 freshmen starting on that offensive line did a really good job, allow Page to find an open receiver and extend this drive.
And these are all youngsters. I mean, their offensive line was pretty much taken away by graduation last year. Sykes thumped down as he gets over midfield. Michael Switzer at left guard is the only returnee for this ball club. He has 31 career starts, but a lot of kids, and they are coming through like champs in this game tonight.
You see the 4 by Lowry and by Holtz. Those are the 4 games they've started this year. And of course, Kid O'Brien was one of the true freshmen on there too. He started 2 games this season, but Switzer is the old man of the crew. If you talk about his 30 starts or 30-plus starts.
Page throws, ball's tipped and incomplete. It goes off the fingertips of Andrew Putoff. It was Coleman who batted it down.
Antonio Coleman, you know, he was here when Quentin Groves was playing, and he learned a lot from Quentin, one of the great pass rushers in Auburn history. Was tied for the record, the most sacks in Auburn history at 26. Coleman closing in on that, 16.5 sacks of his own, but he was told by Quentin, if you can change the quarterback's delivery in any way, you've done a good job. And Groves taught Coleman well, because Coleman has certainly done that in his career here at Auburn.
Another third down for the Auburn defense, and this pass is incomplete. It was deflected again.
Yeah, Michael Goggins, the other rusher from the edge, number 49, Mike Goggins, gets his hands on the football. So 2 good jobs, by the edge rushers for Auburn.
9:01 to go in the second quarter, and the punt coming up. Scott Kovanda, and a new man is back there for Auburn, Quindarius Carr, and he is going to let this one roll. So Carr is the new man of the hour on the punt returns for Auburn. Didn't have a chance on this one, and we've got a timeout. 8:53 in the second. Auburn 23-7. Auto Owners Insurance. Welcome back to Auburn, Alabama, and SEC College Football Saturday presented by Phillips HD. 23-7 is our score. Time to check out some cuties in the stands. There's our O'Charlie's fans of the game. Look at Trooper Taylor, kissing babies, signing autographs, doing it all before the game. And how about that young Tiger fan? In the rain as we play the final 8:53 before halftime. Auburn turning this one around in their favor, 23-7. Chris Todd takes the offense back out onto the field. Play fake to McCaleb. Down the sideline, it's going to be incomplete, as Fannin was the deep man.
Boy, well played by Corian Birch. The corner does an outstanding job. Todd tried to pull him inside with a post route. You see Adams over the middle on the post. But a good job of Corian Birch staying at home and taking away Mario Fannin running the wheel route, which is an out and then up the sideline. Did not get the influence out of the post route on the corner.
The toss to the near side. Fannin, or excuse me, McCaleb to the 35. Chris Todd had hit his first 8 passes of this game until that incompletion a moment ago. And a Ball State player is down. I believe that is Rennie Perry, the defensive tackle.
Now, we talked about how good this Ball State team was in 08. Went 12-0 in the regular season, lost in the MAC championship game to Buffalo, and then lost to Tulsa in the GMAC Bowl game in December. But this was one of the guys, Rennie Perry, who started 13 games on that team last year. So he's one of the stalwarts of this defense, and he's really been a major part of why Auburn has had a tough time running the ball tonight. Trying to flow down the line of scrimmage against the run. The big fella. Good to see him up, limping a little bit, but see if we can find him, number 90. Oh, big hit right at the top of your screen right there. Ryan Pugh kind of away from the play, and well, you hate to see that. I mean, it's a contact sport, and you're going to take your shots. It's a collision sport, not really a contact sport, a collision sport. Certainly a collision there between Perry and Pugh.
Ball State -5 rush yards. Auburn has it 1st and 10 from the 35. Pump fake, deep down the sideline, wide open. Zachary, touchdown. '65 big ones. And the quick strike, Auburn Tigers have another touchdown.
Yeah, just a classic hook and go is all this is. And to throw this route, you've got to have tremendous protection up front. Just an outstanding throw by Chris Todd, but a better job by his offensive line to find the speedy Zachary down the sidelines on the hook and go.
And the kick by West Byram is good. 8:22 remaining. Chris Todd's got another touchdown pass. 30-7 Auburn.
This is the place. This is Ball State University. Our vibrant campus is beautiful. Creative, collaborative, immersive, transforming, innovative. I'm President Joanne Gora, and this is Ball State University. Education redefined.
The way that Chris Todd is throwing the football these days, the surgically repaired shoulder is fine, and he looks like a big league quarterback now.
Well, you get this kind of protection, you're going to look good. I don't care who you put back there. Chris Todd is on the money with the throw here. Watch the protection now. 4-man rush, big pump fake. Look at the protection, tremendous pocket. Reload it, and now gun it down the sideline to the speedy Zachary. Now watch Zachary. Little hesitation and take off. All he wanted to do was get that corner to bite just the count on it. And he certainly did. Pinkston, the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, peeked in the backfield. That's probably, you know what, that's probably a play, Bob, that Todd and Zachary went over and tried to sell Malzahn on. He said, hey, we can get him on the hook and go. We got it. A little hesitation, go. We got it. See, he pointed over the side. I see, I told you, Coach. I had it. I got it.
From the 11-yard line, Williams. Came out of that scrum and turns into a good return out to the 43-yard line. Let's get down to the field and Jen.
Bob, I tell you what, I had a great view of that pass from Chris Todd. Standing here on the sideline, saw it just placed perfectly for Zachary to go up and get it. And Dave, you and I talked to Chris Todd yesterday, and what a journey he's been through to get to where he is now. You think about last year, he loses his starting job. So much of the people in and out of this program are turned against him. That's come out now. And I asked him about that, and he said, you know what, you go through something like that, it can only make you stronger. That certainly seems to be the case for him, along with shoulder surgery. That certainly helped for this season.
It really has, Jen. And you track him all the way back to Texas Tech in 06. Those 5 games in a junior college, Hutchinson Junior College. Just done a great job of really fighting through adversity and waiting for his opportunity, being a good teammate, and ultimately now enjoying a tremendous senior season here 4 games in.
He is without tonight his running mate in the Wildcat, Cody Burns. But I suspect with the way this thing is unfolding, Dave, we'll have a chance to see Neil Caudle get some action.
Neil's another guy that they're high on. They like the way he throws the football down the field. And yeah, it's a loss. Cody gives him some versatility from what he does, but Neil Caudle will fill in admirably if he gets a chance to play.
Lewis gets the Ball State first down at the Auburn 41-yard line.
And Ball State has gone back to what really their bread and butter is, and that's Myquail Lewis carrying the football. 2 big runs from Myquail Lewis on the last 2 plays. He's a young guy that not very big, but they have a zone running game here for Stan Parrish and his offense, and kind of gets lost back there.
10 carries, 29 yards for Lewis. He had 2 down games, only 17 yards at Army, 21 against New Hampshire. And this time it's Williams on the run. His second carry tonight takes the ball down to the 38, where it will be second down.
Second down.
Trying to get back to that ground attack. Push on Auburn a little bit. Auburn getting very aggressive up front. We've seen the blitzes, and they've really put Page in a bad spot. There's Myquail Lewis standing on the sideline. It's been tough sledding for him. Had 2 good runs the last 2 times he's touched it, though.
Bond to the 35, spins it to the 34. Bond last year got considerable playing time, taking over as a true freshman. Came into this game with 10 catches.
Bond, one of those guys that, you know, freshman year in college can be difficult. You're going away from home. Guy had a 3.8 grade point average. Bond just an excellent job of taking care of his business.
Page down the middle, but too tall. Incomplete. Our Toyota halftime report coming up. Fred Hickman will catch us up on what's happening in the SEC. And big news coming out of Lexington concerning Tim Tebow. Stay tuned for that. Fred will have it for you at halftime, and we'll update our text poll as well. 4th down, and 5:43 left before intermission.
Let's see if they get back to what they want to do, is get the ball out of Kelly Page's hands quickly. Let's see if they show maybe boot and give him a throw out on the edge. Auburn is coming up playing bump man coverage on the outside.
There's the boot. There's the throw, and it's batted down. Terrific defensive play by DeMond Washington.
That's the play they've had the most success with in the passing game, is moving the quarterback's launch point away from the pressure of the Auburn Tigers. They do a good job on the boot. He has the ability to throw the ball on the run, but tremendous coverage in man-to-man coverage by Auburn. And they knocked that football down. Excellent job.
So on downs as Washington, you see that sack that came last week against West Virginia. And Ted Roop was getting with us in the meeting yesterday about he covered a lot of territory to come up with that one. Coming out of the secondary. Here's McCaleb. And he gets a yard. Auburn has scored a touchdown on 4 straight drives. And this is an offense, Dave, that has been racking up a ton of yards, averaging over 500 a game in total offense.
Yeah, when they do what they've done tonight and put points on the board, they are very difficult to defeat.
Todd going for the home run ball. It's going to be incomplete. Quindarius Carr was the intended receiver, and the hold is going to be the penalty call.
There is a flag on the play.
Well, this is a ball that looked like Quindarius Carr was trying to track, and it looked like he might have gotten interfered with right at the end of the play. Really didn't have a chance to adjust to the football.
Holding on the offense, number 75. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like Brandon Carnegie got some contact. There's big Lee Zimba. I'm sorry, that's Andrew McCain. McCain, just his 4th career start. When you talk about a veteran offensive line, McCain's been around here for a long time. He's a senior, but only his 4th start of his career.
Wraparound handoff, and Ball State had it smothered. 65 is Drew Duffin, a defensive tackle. He wouldn't let McCaleb go.
Good series that time for Ball State's defense. Did not allow Auburn to do much of anything with the football. And now will give their offense another opportunity here late in the second quarter. And this is an area that's plagued Auburn. 117th in the country in net punting. Average just at 30 yards per punt.
On the fake, McCaleb, and they snuff it out and make the tackle. Pinkston came up and gets credit for the tackle, but Ball State doing a great job and getting the football deep in Auburn territory.
Yeah, and McCaleb looks like he might have hobbled
shot,
a little
didn't
bit. Yeah, he got a little hobble. Looks like it might be his right ankle or right leg on this. We haven't seen much of Ben Tate. He looked like he was limping around as well. We know about Cody Burns going down, so this is getting a little bit expensive for Auburn in the injury category.
And this is a team, when you talk about the overall depth of the ball club, is very, very fragile.
Well, certainly on the defensive side of the football, we talked to Gene about his depth, and he was very concerned about his linebacker core, very thin at the linebacker spot. They've had a number of players out over the first 3 weeks of the season coming into tonight. They've gotten a couple of those guys back, but they're still very thin. The running back position is one area where they do have a number of players there. Eric Smith, we've not seen him tonight. He's a talented tailback they can put in the game, but you certainly don't lose McCaleb.
You've already lost Burns.
Well, and McCaleb is that home run threat. We've already seen what he can do for you, and you certainly want him available to you as you go to Neyland Stadium next week against the Volunteers.
So 2 of the top 4 rushers in the conference coming out of that Auburn backfield, and one of them limps off, McCaleb. Ball State's going to have it 1st and 10 at the Auburn 32.
Well, they must have really liked the look that they saw from Ball State's coverage unit that time to run the double reverse on the punt team, because it was 4th and 12 and they tried to fake it.
Page has misfired on 7 of his last 9 passing attempts after hitting his first 6. Page throws toward the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. Penalty flag. Is it interference on Auburn? The intended receiver was Jeremy Hill. Back to cover Walter McFadden, and the penalty.
I think McFadden is going to bang into the shoulder, the downfield shoulder, just before the ball gets there. You saw the right hand gets in on the shoulder. I think this is a good call, and if this is in the end zone.
Pass interference on the defense, number 6. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot and includes an automatic first down.
Just outside the end zone, so a 15-yard penalty. I think that's a good call.
The penalty will walk the football down to the 18. So it is 1st and 10 at that spot.
Well, another sudden change opportunity for Ted Roof's defense. The failed fake punt now has put his defense in a bad spot.
Play fake to the near side, and the reception at the 14-yard line. Gibson. Toriel Gibson is a sophomore. Last year played in 11 games but caught only 4 balls. He had 6 receptions coming into this game this year.
Yeah, averaging 18.2 a catch. But I like what Kelly Page is doing, trying to work the edges, take what Auburn's giving him, get the ball out on time. That's going to be the recipe for success for them to get the ball in the end zone.
Lewis rather. And he'll take it and look for something. Nothing there. At the 16, D. Ford plugged it up. Quail Lewis generously listed at 5'6". 193 pounds. There's a little tank back there. Senior out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Well, what a great year the young man had last year. 1,736 yards rushing, 22 touchdowns.
Page to the end zone. Overthrown, intended for Hill. Again, McFadden. It's been a good matchup tonight.
Yeah.
And he's limping a bit, is Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, it's a humid night. Might be a cramp creeping in there on Jeremy Hill. Good job, McFadden, again, bump and run coverage that time to really kind of wall off Hill on the fade route. That's a low percentage completion. It's kind of you one-on-one using the sideline as the extra defender, and Page was not accurate with the throw.
Ian McGarvey is going to try a 33-yard field goal. He's 5 of 7 with a long of 48 this year. And this one is good.
The 33-yard kick is good.
So McGarvey connects, and Ball State tacks on 3 points. 2:35 before halftime. It's now Auburn 30, Ball State 10. Geico, and by the United States Marine Corps. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. SEC College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips HD. The 33-yard field goal by McGarvey makes it a 30-10 game. And now the Tigers prepare to receive the kick from Jake Hogue. Short one. And out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Here's our Chick-fil-A nugget of the game. Active winning streaks when scoring 30 or more. And the Auburn Tigers looking to add to that total. Impressive numbers that this Auburn team, Dave, is putting up this year with their new head coach Gene Chizik and offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn. They talk about getting on the Gus bus here at Auburn.
And I think everybody's on board. That 55 games in a row, 30-plus points, winning 55 in a row says a lot about their defense that they've had here at Auburn.
Ben Tate will take it to the 40. Here's a look at the long face of Ontario McCaleb on the Auburn bench.
I would be very surprised if we see McCaleb back in the game. He's icing the ankle down, and you only hope for his sake that's not one of those high ankle sprains that he has a tough time recovering from.
Complete to Fannin. Mario breaks a tackle into Ball State territory down to the 45-yard line.
And this is a guy right here in Mario Fannin who, you talk about a valuable piece to your offense now. His ability to run the football, catch the football. He doesn't have the rushing numbers and the celebrated career that Ronnie Brown had here at Auburn, but he has similar skills that Ronnie Brown had while he was here at Auburn.
Zachary breaks away from 4 white shirts. Finally, the rest of the defense catches up with him at the 45. Freeman credited with a tackle.
A good job of Ball State getting to the football. This is the same play Zachary made a Ball State defender miss earlier on and took it for a touchdown. Good job of Ball State recognizing the play. A little swing screen to the outside, trying to get one block and get clean.
Tate, the safety valve at the 40. Clock continues to tick at 1:20. Travis Freeman's made 4 straight tackles from his middle linebacking spot.
That's some of the growth you've seen right there. Chris Todd realizing that everything down the field, laying it off to his check down the back and the flat. Now they're 3rd and medium here.
Complete at the 35-yard line. A couple of broken tackles and a great game by Stallworth. Trevante Stallworth, the true freshman, makes the grab on a 12-yard gain. His first catch.
You see why they're excited about him. How about the quickness after the catch?
Yes, future star. Speed to burn.
Well, he's just going to run a hitch route, which is just a short curl route to service the corner that's going over the top of him. But as the corner back to that side, falls off to take away the corner out from the slot. He's the open guy. Good job of Todd getting him the football, and you see what he can do once he gets it in his hands. Boy, he's something.
51 seconds left before halftime here. And here's what's happened not only today, but also that South Carolina win from Thursday night.
Wow, how about Frank Solich's team there at Ohio going into Neyland Stadium and giving Lane Kiffin's crew all they want. Maybe Lane Kiffin's crew is looking forward to the Auburn Tigers coming to Knoxville next week.
14-3 now, Dogs. Vandy trying to get on the winning track, leading at Rice in the second quarter. Fred Hickman with all the scores and highlights coming up at halftime. And Tebow news as well. Pressure. Incomplete. Eric Smith trying to come back and get that one. That stops it with 44 seconds.
That's a good job by Ball State in coverage, but Gus Malzahn, that's what he wants from his quarterback. And again, you talk about Chris Todd, that's a simple thing right there. Coverage was good. Minimize the damage. Throw the football away where Ball State can't get it. Let's line up again on 2nd and 10. Let's not take a sack. Let's not throw an interception. Just a good job there. Good quarterback play.
Gus takes a look at that clock. 44 seconds. We've got all day. Bannon stepped out of bounds, or did he? Nope. Clock will roll at the 19. Half a minute to go.
We talked to Gus about who manages the time in a game, and he says we do from the sideline. We just expect our quarterback to run what we call. So he manages this time.
Tate spins down to the 15. And Auburn will stop the clock with 12 seconds remaining before halftime. Well, this is a night where the Auburn Tigers had another rain delay. They fell behind 7-0, had a sluggish start. We talked with Gene Chizik yesterday about his ball club, and Gene says he's still in the learning process about his Tigers.
Every week we've learned a little bit more about our team, but it's still the feeling out process. It really is. You know, we're not sure how good we are. We're not sure how bad we are. You know, and I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's been a great experience because of the way the first 3 games have unfolded.
And he knows, Dave, that this monster SEC, October's the month. And it begins next weekend in Knoxville for the Tigers.
Yeah, he'll learn more about his team next week as well. You go on the road for the first time. How was my team handled the road trip? Going to a hostile environment in Neyland Stadium. It's going to be a continued process as Gene changes the culture here back to what Auburn used to be, and that's tough football and pound you and beat you down into the 4th quarter.
Wes Beimer has bounced back solidly with his field goals this year. He's 5 for 5. And this one is good. Make it 6 for 6. And the field goal pushes Auburn in front 33-10. Let's take a look at that October schedule. It starts in Knoxville next weekend, then to Arkansas on the 10th.
Well, back-to-back road trips, and you come back home for a Kentucky team that can be difficult to handle, and then obviously you go on the road to LSU, and they had a great game there 2 years ago when LSU completed a pass late in the game to win the football game on a game that Auburn played great in. So and we talked about it at this top, Bob. I don't care what schedule you put up in the SEC. You can put any team up. You've got to run that gauntlet. It's unbelievable, the schedule. And all you can do is take the team that you play that week, and that's who you concentrate on. And that's what they tried to do here with Ball State. I thought they were sluggish early, but they've gotten their feet under them and played well. Once this game is over, they'll shift gears and begin to look at the Volunteers, and that's all they'll look at.
Just pick a team. What's October look like? Let's just say LSU. Okay? At Georgia, Florida, Auburn, Tulane, and then November 7th at Alabama.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy schedule. That's pretty easy. It doesn't matter who you take. I mean, everybody's got to play the same people, and they're all ranked, and they're all tough, and they're all their places are tough to play at.
squib kick, rolls to the 27. Taken by one of the up men there, and the whistle finally blows it dead as Justin Cruz, a linebacker, freshman on special teams, made the pickup. Clock runs out, and the first half is in the books. The Auburn Tigers put 33 more points on the board. They've scored more in 3.5 games this year than they scored in the first 9 games last year. Down to the field and Jim.
Coach Chiswick, slow start, bit sloppy at times, and then things started clicking. What are your thoughts in this first half?
Just very sloppy. You know, it's just it looks like one of those weeks where we can't get, you know, we can't get any rhythm, we can't get any consistency. I mean, we're winning the football game, but it's just really sloppy.
I don't know if you know Ontario McCaleb, what his status is, but if he can't go, not having him and Cody Burns, how does that affect what you can do offensively?
Well, obviously those two guys are big in our offense, so we'll just have to wait and see how each one of them unfold. But obviously we don't have them. It's going to hurt us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Gene Chiswick heads to the locker room to join his Tigers. A slow start. Ball State led 7-0 early. But then the Tigers started to click. Touchdowns in rapid fire succession. And we've reached the break 33-10 Auburn. Brent Hickman in our Atlanta studio coming up on the other side of the break. We are back at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. Halftime here, 33-10. Auburn in front of Ball State. And our Phillips HD game summary shapes up this way. Total yards, Auburn 325. We had a 30-minute rain delay at the beginning of our night and about a 50-minute clock delay as Auburn took a while to get rolling. But when they did, Dave Archer, we saw more versatility coming out of this Auburn and Gus Malzahn offense. Tonight, they featured the quick strike.
They really did. They came out and made some plays in the passing game first, and you thought it would be the rushing game, but it was the passing game that really kind of got them going. This was this quick screen to the outside. Jarrell Zachary turns this, makes a great move on the sideline, and turns it into a short pass, big play. And then the ground game got cranked up, and Ontario McCaleb, who came in tonight 4th in the SEC in rushing, turned in a big run, was tackled just short of the goal line. He followed that up with a 1-yard touchdown run right here to finish that play. And then, of course, the one more long touchdown pass to Todd, from Todd to Zachary. And Zachary puts it in the end zone. So you see the strike, 24 plays, almost 300 yards. And that's what Auburn has featured tonight on offense.
Our Regions Bank doing the little things. And it's going to be Auburn football as we start the third period. Tigers return it from the 5. And up to the 24-yard line as we check in with our Jen Hildreth.
Bob, first of all, it has blessedly stopped raining for the first time since kickoff, so that's very encouraging. But I did talk with Stan Parrish from Ball State, and he said, look, 11 penalties just killed us. That, along with Auburn's big plays, story of the first half for him. But he said, guys, these guys are feisty. We still think we can win this game, and it's all about what's down the road for us as they go into conference play. Very pleased, though, Dave, with the way his young quarterback, Kelly Page, is playing.
Yeah, I think he's done an outstanding job under the conditions that he's had, and he's going to have to try to come back out and crank it up and get it going for Ball State.
Big hole for Ben Tate on first down, takes it to the 40. His best gain of the night.
A huge hole. Good job getting in behind Mike Berry there, 66. Good block by Lee Zimba. Just an outstanding job.
16-yard pickup for Ben Tate. This time he gets a yard to the 39 before Drew Duffin made another tackle. He's second on the ball club in tackles for losses this season. He's a senior from Avon, Indiana. And speaking of Indiana, Ball State will open its MAC season at home against Toledo next Saturday. Second down and 8. Complete to the outside. Jarrell Zachary will take it to the 48-yard line. And it's going to be a third down play for the Tigers.
Yeah, Ball State has not been willing, Bob, to come up out on the edge and play bump and run. And Zachary's speed and the speed of Adams on the outside has really prevented Ball State from really risking and coming up play bump coverage. And that's given them the opportunity to throw the ball to the outside on those hitch routes.
Eric Smith, the motion man, he'll lead block for Ben Tate, who takes it over the 50 to the 46 of Ball State.
And I think this is what we're going to see now out of Auburn. We're going to see the power running game with Ben Tate in the game. Probably see Mario Fannin spell him some. You'll also see Eric Smith at running back. I don't think Ontario McCaleb will be on the field the rest of the night. I think they need to start thinking about having him ready for next week.
Fannin is indeed in. This is going to be Smith on the carry. And a burst of speed. Gets it down to the 35, and the pile slides down to the 32. Eric Smith, I think, Dave, is a guy that's going to be that secret weapon kind of guy for Auburn.
Well, he's a guy that can do what Ben Tate does for you. He's not quite as explosive once he gets out on the perimeter, but he's got power. You see the size, 232-pound runner, and he can run between the tackles in this power running game that Gus Malzahn features. There's no step down when he goes downhill.
Last week against West Virginia, caught 4 passes. First and 10 for the Tigers, and Smith again. Nice gain on first down to the 26.
A good job by Auburn's front. Jeff Grimes, their offensive line coach, obviously talking to their front wall about we need to get this ground game cranked up. That's who we are, and they're doing a good job now blocking the Ball State front four and creating some creases in there as Ben Tate checks back in the game.
Auburn now 374 yards in total offense and 155 on the ground. Through Fannin's hands. Todd incomplete. Chris has had a monster night in terms of his completion percentage. He is now 16 of 20 for the night, 3 touchdowns and 219 yards.
Yeah, just a little too tall maybe for Mario to get his hands on that one, squeeze it. Boy, they had something brewing again with the swing screen to the slot receiver. So they peer to the sideline to see if Gus wants to change the play based on the Ball State look that they're seeing, and they do. They change formation, kick Smith out into the slot, and move Tate back to the left side.
That's going to be a completed pass to Darvin Adams. He had to really fight Birch for the football, but Adams comes up with the grab.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the youngster, sophomore, 6'3", 185 pounds, out of Harrison High School in Kennesaw, Georgia. Great job of squeezing the football there. Strong hands will squeeze it with cover corner all over his back.
Play action to Tate over the middle of the end zone. Incomplete, then rolled out of the hands of Fannin. He had to drop down to try to pick it off.
Well, it's a well-thrown ball because it comes out on time. He sets and guns it into the seam. He throws the ball a little bit too far to the inside. And so Fannin has to slide, kind of go down to the ground and try to make the catch. Tough to catch the ball down around your shins there. He just couldn't come up with it.
They don't waste any time, do they? That ball is down and ready to be snapped. This one thrown away. There is a penalty flag at the 18, and I'm wondering if there was a little jousting up front.
This is an excellent read by Ball State's defensive front to recognize screen here. They check the screen at the line of scrimmage, the Tate to the right, and that's what the illegal man downfield.
Ineligible.
Because Todd threw the ball down the field. Now, if it's a screen, he throws the ball behind the line of scrimmage, the line can release down the field. But watch Tate get picked up in the screen right there. Ball State does a great job of taking away the screen, so Todd throws the ball down the field, and that's an illegal That's a forward pass with a guy down the field. That's where the penalty comes from.
Ben Tate is the setback. Second and long as Chris Todd guns it. Complete! Touchdown! What a play! Darvin Adams. 26-yard touchdown pass. Fourth Todd TD throw of the night.
Well, you're asking a corner to do a lot when you have to cover this long. At some point, the receiver's going to come open, and you can't blame Corian Birch for the corner on that play. I think he stuck with Darvin Adams about as long as he could, and with the scramble from Todd extending the play, was able to buy enough time to find Adams sliding back to the inside for the touchdown.
The point after is good, and the Auburn Tigers reclaim a 30-point lead. Chris Todd finds Darvin Adams. Touchdown, Tigers. Styling and profiling. Southeastern Conference football is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. A 26-yard touchdown pass to that man, Darvin Adams. Chris Todd's fourth touchdown strike of the night. And it is now a 40-10 lead for Auburn. Getting set for the Tiger kickoff here. Is Morgan Hall for the Tigers, and here he comes. Eric Williams from the 10. The hole closed quickly out to the 30, 1st and 10, and more on the Adams story with Jen.
Bob, Darvin Adams having the breakout game against West Virginia last week. 3 touchdown catches equaled the total amount of catches he had last season. I asked if that helped his confidence. Obviously, he said that it did, but not just in himself, but in the guys around him, like the quarterback, Chris Todd, who sent him that pass, and obviously his offensive line as well. After that play, guys, Gene Chizik came over to the sideline, not only patted Darvin Adams on the back, he went over and patted every one of his offensive linemen to thank him for their work on that play.
Yeah, great job extending the play. Could not get pressure. Todd does a good job of scrambling and finding Adams for the touchdown.
Michael Lewis breaks it out to the 37, 38-yard line. Lewis with his 12th carry of the night, 28 yards in the first half. Darren Fates made the tackle. And you talk about all these young players, Dave, and it brings up the age-old question, which comes first, success or confidence?
Well, I think success breeds confidence. I think that you have to have some success to get any confidence. I don't think that you can't just come out and all of a sudden develop confidence. You have to make a play or two and realize you can play at this level. And then once you make a few plays and it happens again, then all of a sudden that confidence begins to grow. And then you're willing, as a quarterback now, you're willing to squeeze the trigger on a tight throw because you believe you can get it in there. You believe your guy's going to make that catch. And that's bred by making the plays.
That will be a first down. Page tonight, 11 of 19 for 59 yards.
Yeah, he's been forced to throw the ball underneath quickly, get it out of his hands, possession-type throws. And Auburn has forced him to get it out of there because if he holds on to it, there's just too much strength and speed up front and too much youth on his side up front.
Orsbon to the 47. And we're looking at that Auburn defense, and I'm wondering at what point might we see some substitutions. These are the starters in there, Ricks and Thorpe, who just showed you a moment ago.
Well, you want to establish tempo. The offense came out, obviously established some tempo, put the ball in the end zone. Now they want to get the defensive group on the field, establish their tempo in the game, and then you'll probably begin to see some substitutions. But they want these guys to come out of the locker room playing with intensity. That's what they'll have to do next week.
Williams. And a first down for Ball State in Auburn territory at the 47. Eric Williams, a true freshman, has had couple of carries in this game. So, a couple of first downs in this drive for Ball State.
Well, and they've done a good job of kind of trying to do what they do. We talked to Coach Stan Parrish, and he talked about what does this game mean to you? Well, obviously, they'd love to come down here and beat Auburn, be a huge win for his program. But he also realized that their conference schedule starts next week. He's trying to get them in a position. You mentioned confidence. This will help.
And Williams gets tripped up as he cleared the 25 by Darren Bates. A quick hitter, and Eric Williams hit the line quickly.
Well, you mentioned confidence, and now this offensive line is moving the football against this Auburn #1 defense. Williams has come in and put a little spark in him. He's got a little bit more quickness maybe than Michael Lewis does, and he hit the hole and was up the field. So he's added a little charge to this offense here in this opening drive of the second half.
That line helping Ball State to 9 first downs for the night, but 3 of them on this drive. Williams straight ahead to the 21. Mike Blanc the tackle. Goggins also in there. A 40-10 game.
A great opportunity right here now for Ball State for play action. I think that you're going to see Auburn try to gang up a little bit against the run. They don't want to give them an opportunity to get it in a 3rd and short situation. Great opportunity here to play action, pull the linebackers up, and have maybe a one-on-one throw to one of his receivers.
Page. And Kelly Page will take it in for the touchdown. The fake to Eric Williams, and Kelly Page takes it in from 22 yards out.
Very similar to what he did last week against the Army. A zone read type play. They've gotten some yardage carrying the ball to the inside. Good read from Kelly Page to pull it on the zone read and get straight up the field for the touchdown. Just had one defender to beat. He was able to do that. He's shown a lot of poise in a tough place to come and play.
McGarvey looking to add the point after. So Kelly Page with the rushing touchdown gives Ball State 7-40-17. The guy that you think is indestructible.
Well, nobody's indestructible in this game. And if you look at Florida's schedule now, Florida does not play till October 10 against LSU. So if Tim is banged up a little bit, maybe a concussion there, they have a couple of weeks to recover.
Ben Tate. Penalty flag. Stiff arm to the 50. 49-yard return, but the question of the penalty. Hold against the return team.
You know, the special teams has been kind of a thorn in their side here the first couple of weeks, and this is what's happened tonight. Gully, the freshman, fumbles the punt, which leads to a touchdown. You get the hold there in the middle of the field, and then a fumble by Gully. Here, a big return from Tate is called back because of a hold. And, of course, the fake punt that went for naught early in the football game there in the late in the second quarter. And then you get another big return here from Ben Tate. It's called back because of a hold. And that's an area that, boy, they're going to have to work a lot on in these this next week to get it brushed up against. They're going to need their special teams to beat Tennessee.
And I think that's the concern here at Auburn is this is week 4. And there are still a lot of questions to be resolved as the offense gets it back. And it's Eric Smith to the outside. Big gainer on first down.
But what a nice luxury for Auburn and for Gus Malzahn to be able to, stick air. Here's Eric Smith standing over on the sideline and probably could be starting for a number of teams in the country. And here he is, the third guy off the bench at the tailback spot. He's a great special teams player for him. Comes in and he's running it like he's the starting tailback.
Chris Todd
I don't know what he was looking for. He was so open. He was looking at somebody to pitch the football to. This is Chris Todd.
His eyes sort of got big.
Hey, here's somebody come and get this ball. We got a lot of room to run, and I'm not the guy to do it. But a little zone read that time, and that's not really Chris Todd's deal. And when he got out there, he was looking to pitch the ball to somebody. There wasn't anybody around.
Bill Bentate comes back in as the setback behind Chris Todd. Second note. Tate, oh, look at him shake the tacklers. Another big stiff arm to the 36. Young man from Maryland. Doing it in Auburn. 20-yard pickup. Our Phillips HD play of the game. Just the great effort here. Fannin. Fannin to the 10. Fannin, touchdown. Chris Todd with his 5th touchdown pass.
Just a quick screen to the outside, and we talked about Fannin's versatility and what he can do when he gets the ball in his hands. Just a tremendous job of getting straight up the field. First time since 2001, Daniel Cobb versus Louisiana Tech here for the Auburn Tigers through 5 touchdown passes. Go all the way back to 2001. That's been done here.
And never in Auburn history has a quarterback put back-to-back games together like this young man. 9 touchdown passes in back-to-back games.
And for those watching across the SEC area, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You see Gus Malzahn, the mad scientist, talking to his quarterback right there. Talked about Chris Todd and the touchdown passes today. Tommy Trott, great patience. Then he gets the ball to one of his playmakers on the edge, and Terrell Zachary, the great speed. Here a tremendous throw over the shoulder to Zachary on the hook and go. Then here extending the play and finding Darvin Adams to the inside, and then you saw the last one. The quick screen to the outside, Mario Fannin. And he puts it in the end zone. 5 touchdown passes for Chris Todd tonight. What a great night for the senior quarterbacks.
Records go back just to 1947. But we'll say it, an all-time record. 4 touchdown passes in back-to-back, and Todd now with 5 tonight to tie the school record that Dave pointed out.
Yeah, 2001 against Louisiana Tech, Daniel Cobb.
But you know, it speaks, I think, Dave, to the bigger picture. And Gus Malzahn and Auburn are on the cutting edge of this offensive revolution that we're seeing in college football.
Yeah, and his is a different style. You see spread. He wants to run the football, Bob, and everything they do comes off the ground attack.
Williams brings it out to the 35-yard line. Just wanted to bounce a stat off of you as to what happened last week in college football. Last week, 5 teams were down 10 or more points in the first quarter of a game. By the fourth quarter, they were in front. 3 teams won, 2 teams lost. But you're seeing these incredible swings in games where if you're 2-3 touchdowns down early, you're not out of the game.
Yeah, no lead is safe in this day and age in college football with the offensive explosion that a lot of these schools have.
And the SEC is leading the way. No conference is scoring more points for its members than this one. And here's Auburn putting 47 on Ball State. We're midway through the 3rd. Tanner Justice spelling Kelly Page at quarterback for Ball State.
Tanner, the senior, has done a good job of helping Kelly Page. He's been around the program for 4 years. Already has his degree in entrepreneurship, working on his master's degree in business. And he's done a good job of helping the young quarterback through the young part of this season.
Corey Sykes to the 33. We're talking about some possible subs. I don't think Ted Roof is real thrilled with the way his defensive club came out to start the second half, and maybe not all night long. We'll check in with Jen on that in a second. Justice played, a near pick by Etheridge, but a flag blew the play dead.
A false start from the right tackle, it looked like.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. It remains third down.
Okay, Jen.
Well, guys, you know, Ted Roof, I watched him after that last defensive series, and his team's out in the field. They gave up the touchdown, not happy. Playboard was flying to the ground. He was in his guys' faces, telling him in no uncertain terms what he thought of their poor effort. I'm probably cleaning up the language a little bit, but you get the idea. He was not happy. These guys need some improvement. Let's see how they respond.
So is that, Jen, does that mean he's not going to put any faces on the wall this week?
he might rip them down. Didn't he tell us he did that at one point this week?
Yes, he did. He wanted to remind them this wasn't throwaway week. It was a week to come and play.
Justice. And Josh Vines comes to wrap him up after he eluded the grasp of Jake Ricks. Fourth down.
Well, I think he got out of the defense what he wanted. He put them back out on the field to go out there and get a stop, and they did. They gave up the touchdown the first drive of the third quarter, but they went out and got a stop, and that certainly is what he's looking for. 3 and out. That's what he wants out of his defense. But I get the feeling that this is a staff that's never going to be satisfied with what they get out of their players, and I think that that's a good thing. I think that they're going to continue to challenge them. The good teams, that's the way they're going to do it.
This one will go out of bounds and is marked out at the 17. The Auburn Tigers, a ball club that averages 42.3 per game. They put 47 on the Redbirds. Southeastern Conference football is brought to you by O'Charley's, by Regions Bank, and by Honda Generators. Been a tough night for the Cardinals, that's for sure. They've yielded 47 points and a grand total of 478 yards to these Auburn Tigers, as they came into this one 0-3, and they're looking at 0-4, getting ready for conference play next week. Chris Todd still in there for the Tigers. And the handoff to Ben Tate. His 13th carry of the game.
Well, and Ben Tate and Eric Smith will carry the load the rest of the way. We mentioned that Ontario McCaleb on a fake punt injured what looked like an ankle and did not return here in the second half, and that will be a concern for Auburn going into next week's game against Tennessee. Been explosive, had a long run that led to a 1-yard touchdown run.
Todd throwing it down the middle, Fannin. Oh, that would have been a sensational catch. Todd had him. This is what happened to McCaleb.
Yeah, fake punt late in the second quarter, and McCaleb gets the right ankle rolled up right there, and saw him icing it down on the sideline. And really, at this point, I think it's precautionary. He's not playing. I think that for an SEC title on the line or something, you'd probably see him back in the game, but I think that they want to make sure that best they can get him ready for next week.
That's exactly the report from Jen on the sideline. This throw comes and is dropped at the 32-yard line by D'Angelo Benton. This 21-year-old freshman trying to make his first catch. One of the shockers at signing day after twice signing with LSU, coming to Auburn, and was ranked as one of the best high school receivers coming out.
Bastrop High School in Louisiana, and just did not squeeze that one. Opportunity, you know, opportunity for the young man. When you get an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it, because there's SEC schools. There's a number of talent on every bench. I mean, these schools don't They recruit the 5-star kids. There are a lot of great kids on these teams, and you get your opportunity, you got to squeeze it because somebody else is working for theirs.
High hanger, fair catch. Orisbon at the 34. A 49-yard punt and no return. Clinton Durst doing an outstanding job with the punt and no return. Tomorrow, Fox NFL Sunday, the Falcons look to stay undefeated when they take on the Patriots, or you'll see one of these other games. Following that, the 2-0 Saints take on the Bills, Bears, Seahawks. Coverage tomorrow with America's #1 pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Many of us will be watching with great interest that Falcon-Patriot game, Tom Brady and Matt Ryan.
That should be a good one. Be interesting to see how Drew Brees plays. Chris Todd doing a Drew Brees imitation here tonight and last week, throwing touchdown passes.
And this pass to the 45, and Kelly Page back in at quarterback. Gibson, and that is going to be judged to be incomplete, and it will be 2nd down and 10. We have 3:19 left in the period.
Another pretty well thrown ball. Saw coverage, threw it in the middle of the zone, and ball just wasn't caught. I think that they're going to take some things out of this game. They're getting thumped by Auburn, but they've done some good things and things that I think will lead to some success for them when they get into conference play.
Eric Williams to the 37-yard line. Stan Parrish was so impressed with what Gus Malzahn was doing at Tulsa, he actually went and visited with Gus to find out a little bit more about how he does this fast-paced running game.
Yeah, and why not? It's unbelievable. You know, this game is on the schedule, and actually was supposed to be played last year. We'll go to Junior in just a little bit more on that story, but was supposed to be played last year, played this year, and now you get to see Gus Malzahn again. Last year with Tulsa, now with Auburn.
Lewis, pretty shifty as he gets in to Auburn territory.
Jen, I was talking about the fact that this is a big game for Ball State in a lot of ways, not just confidence, but off the field as well.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. This is going to be the largest payday in school history, a total of $800,000. That's what the Cardinals are getting for playing in this game. It originally was $750,000 because it was supposed to have been played last year, but Auburn asked for it to be rescheduled, so they got an extra $50,000 out of it.
Wow, they didn't have to play the team that went 12-0 in the regular season, did Auburn.
Sykes. And he'll bang it down to the 36-yard line.
You mentioned some of the changes, Bob, on the Auburn defense, and you're starting to see that there. There's DeAnton Hood playing safety. He's now in for Zach Etheridge, who's out of the football game. You see some of the changes, and it was the fact that they wanted to get a stop defensively and set the tone, and then start to get some of the other players in. Adam Herring on the field at linebacker.
Tiger is shaken up.
It's like Harris Gaston, the freshman linebacker that almost had his arm torn off by another guy that's excited about returning from injury, is Antoine Carter, number 45, coming off the edge. And Antoine has really been struggling with some injuries. He's a guy that they felt like was going to be the bookend to Antonio Coleman. Antoine Carter back from injury. Boy, they're excited about him. He has the ability to really get after the passer.
Down in the trenches. Boy, you got the mud in the helmet. To the 35.
Lewis, the ball carrier.
Goes Mike Quayle Lewis.
Antoine Carter in on that play. They're really excited to have him back.
Jonathan Evans, a true freshman, is in at linebacker.
First and 10 on the 35.
There's Evans out of Pritchard, Alabama.
Another true freshman. Was a great opportunity for Auburn to get these young players some playing time, because you talked about the grind of the SEC. These guys are going to play meaningful minutes at some point in a big game.
Knee down on the reception by Orsbon.
The pass to Orsbon.
It's going to be second down and about 5. And another Tiger hits the deck. '98 is Zach Clayton.
Now, Zach's one of the guys that's part of the regular rotation in the defensive middle. He's a guy that will play significant minutes next week for him, should he not be banged up next week. From right here at Opelika, Alabama, just up the road. Short trip. Got chopped on the leg. See the cut block. You're going to see him get cut here on this play. Watch in the middle of your screen, number 98 is going to start to turn. There's the cut block. That's a legal block now. You hear the term chop block. He has to be engaged by a player up top and then have another player cut him low for it to be a chop block. That's just a simple stand him up and cut him. Most offensive lines use that technique on quick passing, which that play was, a quick throw to the outside to try to get the defender's arms down.
Zach Clayton, his dad, Jerry, the assistant track coach here, throws the discus. Does Zach Clayton and does it very well. Was in the NCAA Outdoor Championships last year.
That'll be a sprained knee for him. He'll get a chance to, he'll have that packed in ice for the next couple of days, getting that ready for next week. Looks like he's okay, though.
And that will be the end of the period. 3 quarters down and 1 to go in Tiger Town, Auburn, Alabama. Auburn looking to go 4-0 and on cruise control. Score at the end of 3. Auburn 47, Ball State 17.
Tonight's game is in high definition, presented by Philips HD.
Welcome back to Auburn, Alabama. Bob Rathman, Dave Archer, Jen Hildreth, and our great crew. Start of the 4th. 47-17 Auburn. Ball State with it. On second down, and the pass to the sideline is incomplete. Intended receiver was Gibson, and Page picking himself up.
And this has happened a number of times, and you're going to eat the defensive end on these boot plays, but he does a good job of standing in there and throwing it, but he's not getting the help on the other end. Gibson dropped the football on the throw. It's a low throw, but hey, when he shows them the film on Monday and sees them eating these defensive ends to try to get the ball out, those guys need to step up and make some catches for him.
D. Ford was the man who hit him, and Ford is a guy who plays behind Goggins. Catch to the 20-yard line. D. Ford is tied for the team leading quarterback hurries. Plays about half the time.
Yeah, the youngster's done a good job for him coming off the edge. St. Clair County High School, Odensville, Alabama. He had 18 sacks his senior year in high school. Do you think he knows how to get to the passer? This is a guy sitting on the bench now. This guy not playing. This is the guy that's waiting to come in. That's what you do. But these SC, they just reload.
Williams. Popping pads down to the 11.
And I guarantee you, they're coaching just as hard on the sideline. Ted Roof is coaching just as hard on the sideline now that he's got these young players in there. He wants to keep Ball State out of the end zone.
Nice piece of running to the 2. Well, he's first and goal.
He's been impressive, Bob. Eric Williams come in, kind of gave him he get a little bit more bounce to his step than Mike Quayle Lewis is. Mike Quayle's a little bit smaller guy, but he's more powerful. This kid got a little bit more quick step into the hole. A bright future for him. A tough night for Mike Well, and you see he's pulling for the youngster in there that's running the rock for him right now.
The Auburn defense is there. Progress marked just shy of the 1. Gaston in on the initial stop.
A big hit at the point of attack that time. Looked like Derek Likes was also part of that hit, the freshman. Watch the head jar back on this hit. Oh, it was Gaston. You're right, Bob.
Harris Gaston, the freshman from Bessemer, Alabama. Williams going to try it again. No. Play fake. Throw to the end zone. Touchdown. Zane Fakes, the tight end from Kelly Page, and Ball State has 6.
Good play fake from the redshirt freshman quarterback, and he finds his freshman tight end in the back corner of the end zone. A good job of execution on that drive for Ball State to get the ball in the end zone.
A 13-play, 67-yard drive. Covanda. Excuse me, McGarvey has come in now to kick. And that makes it 47-24. Timeout on the Plains. Ball State adds 7. And it's 47-24 Tigers.
Auburn fans very happy here as their Tigers lead over Ball State 47-24. The rain has stopped. That makes me happy. But you know, guys, when looking at Ball State, they talk to us about needing to improve each week. That's what Stan Paris talked to us about earlier. And you look at their scores this season. Yes, they're probably going to wind up 0-4 after this one, but their points they put on the board have improved each game. 10 points in their first game, 16 points in their second game, 17 points last week, and now 24 here. So something perhaps to build on for these Cardinals.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that they've done a good job of trying to do what they had a plan to do, and that was try to run the ball a little bit, move the chains. They're just overmatched athletically here by the Auburn Tigers, but I think they've done a nice job of putting themselves in position to be a factor when MAC play starts.
And it starts with Toledo, a noon game next Saturday in Muncie. Then it's on to Temple, Bowling Green. That is a conference that has produced some outstanding talent over the years.
I'm telling you, Bowling Green had a visit. I believe it was a visit from the Boise State Broncos this evening, and the Broncos went in there and laid the wood.
Neil Caudle comes in as quarterback for the Tigers. On the toss, here is Eric Smith. Neil Caudle, junior from Hoover, Alabama. Here's another guy that has persevered. Missed the end of the 04 with a knee. Missed almost all of 05. Then he had a thumb injury from his baseball days. Redshirted in 06. Separated shoulder in 07 in scrimmage. Played 1 game and then 2 games last year. Intercepted by Ball State and to the 31-yard line. The pickoff by Jason Pinkston, the freshman from Cleveland.
Well, and Caudle, an excuse for him is he's not played much, but this is a play that you'd expect from a quarterback that hadn't gotten a lot of time. He's going to stare down the throw. Look at him, look at it, he looks at it, he looks at it, he holds it, he looks at it, and he still throws it. And by that time, you're going to break on it as a defender. You just can't look at the throw that long when a team is in zone coverage. You're just not going to be able to do that.
So Pinkston with his first collegiate interception. And now Ball State from the Auburn 32-yard line. Sykes, Corey looking, turning, and a nice pickup down to the 21-yard line. Zach Etheridge still in there, making the tackle. He's third in the ball club with 19 coming into the game.
And Sykes is that guy that is kind of their Ontario McCaleb. He's got explosive speed. You saw it there. He outran several Auburn defenders at the edge to get the first down. Came into tonight only 9 carries, averaging 5 yards a carry, but he's kind of a home run guy for him back there if he gets clean.
Page to the end zone and overthrown. Briggs Orsbon, the intended receiver.
And Antonio Coleman back on the field for this Auburn defense.
Yeah, Ricks is back.
Tremendous hit right there on Kelly Page as he let that one go.
Coleman is a guy who has 16.5 career sacks.
He trails Quentin Groves by about a 9.5, I believe, 9.5 sacks. 626 is the school record.
Williams to the 19.
In fact, that entire Auburn #1 defense is back on the field. Ted Roof sent them back on the field. They want to stop here. Here comes the nickel into the game. El Toro Freeman will leave, and Desmond Washington will come in as the nickel back. So they're looking for a stop here to force a field goal.
Ball State had but 13 first-half rushing yards, 122 in the second half. Page with protection. And that will set up a 4th down.
Boy, excellent coverage from Auburn. Played man coverage that time. Josh Bynes was the defender close to the throw, was covering the tight end, but just an excellent job of this Auburn defense to come in and get the stop. Really challenged there by Ted Roof. He sent them back on the field after the turnover. Hey, go in there and get a stop, force a field goal. That's exactly what they did.
Field goal attempt of 37 yards. And Garvey hit a 33-yarder earlier tonight. And quickly, and the kick is good. So Ball State gets some points out of the Pinkston interception. 47-27. Okay, thank you, Fred. We appreciate the updates. A 47-27 game here as Ball State kicks off. And this will be brought out of the end zone. Oh, my. Adams. Well, that was exciting. To the 20s.
Yeah, that's that one where you're on the sidelines, the coach saying, no, no, yes. You talked about you heard Fred talk about Florida and Tim Tebow. Obviously, tremendous concerns with people down in Gainesville. Remember, Florida does not play for 2 weeks. They have a bye next week. They play LSU in 2 weeks. So opportunity to get, hopefully, Tebow back if you're a Florida Gator. How about Arizona State and Georgia? Arizona State came into that game. They played a couple lesser opponents where we're #1 in the country in defense. And that's certainly holding up in Athens tonight.
And that game in Athens, 2 seconds to go, and Georgia's lining up to try to kick a game-winning field goal, or that baby's going to overtime. Eric Smith out to the 23. 47-27 Auburn. Under 10 to play.
Hey, you talk about little things, Bob, and that add up to big things and winning football games. There's Eric Smith. He's a sophomore running back, and he runs the ball to the sideline. No gain. Going to lose 3 yards. Smart play, though. He goes down inbounds. And they're little things, but if you're in a game against somebody in the SEC trying to run the clock out, that's a huge play by a kid that doesn't get to carry the ball very much.
Smith to the 27.
Yeah, little things, and this is what Gene Chiswick's trying to talk to his team about. Little things add up to big things, and that's wins. Watch Eric Smith realize, I'm on the sideline. Okay, I'm going to gear it down. He could have easily run out of bounds there and stopped the clock, but because he didn't, they were able to run another 30, 40 seconds off the clock before the ball was spotted, and that'll win you football games. Those little things like that win games for you, and that's Eric Smith really playing heady football in a situation where he doesn't get that opportunity that often. play.
Down the sideline, it's going to be incomplete. Stallworth was heading deep. Now the flags.
Looks like they tried to catch Ball State jumping in the neutral zone.
Offside on the defense. Number 92. Penalty of 5 yards. Previous spot. Repeat. Third down.
And Georgia gets the field goal at the buzzer. 2017.
What a huge win for Georgia to get that win after a big win on the road against Arkansas last week, and keeps their hopes alive in a national picture. Obviously, that's not an SEC game, but it keeps them in the hunt nationally as well.
Lutzenkirchen makes the catch. Phillip caught a touchdown pass for his first grab 2 weeks ago here. Stretching up to make the grab.
Boy, how about the hands on this? Phillip Lutzenkirchen. Lassiter High School, Marietta, Georgia. You mentioned Bob caught the Tommy Trott was banged up against Mississippi State. He came in and caught the touchdown from Cody Burns, but boy, he showed some great hands there.
Tremendous high school receiver. 1st and 10. Smith stopped at the 47. Well, he is a load. Eric Smith. Jeff Parker made the tackle.
Oh, he's done a great job coming in off the bench. Done an outstanding job. We talked about Ontario McCaleb and his inability to continue to go. Now 7 carries, 47 yards for Eric Smith. Done an outstanding job.
Second down and 8. Caudle. Two men couldn't touch him or bring him down, and it's a touchdown for Auburn. 48 yards. And for all this young man has been through in his career, to bust one and score, outstanding.
Boy, he showed tremendous athleticism when he got to the outside. We saw Chris Todd in a similar situation, like a fish out of water in that situation. Boy, Caudle didn't wait. He hit the crease and was gone, and then ran through 2 Ball State defenders to get in the end zone.
Officially 52 yards for the touchdown. And now Byron's extra point is good. 54 points.
Zone read play, you see it all the time from most every offense in the country, but you don't see this kind of result as the Tigers now 255 yards on the ground. They're rolling here at Jordan-Hare.
Okay, Fred, thank you very much. 54-27. 5 in the air by Chris Todd. 1 big one on the ground by Neil Caudle. And Auburn winning by a 54-27 count.
And in case you're wondering, for Georgia, they get a real break next week. The LSU Tigers come to town. So it lightens up after playing the #1 defense in the country in Arizona State. They get to take on the Tigers in Athens next weekend.
Eric Williams. And the blue shirts come in to help, and take a look at what's going on with Chris Todd's night tonight. And what a night it was. 5 touchdown passes. He has had 2 back-to-back outstanding games. And think of where this young man was and the program was a year ago, Dave, and now look at this. Just a 180 from a year ago.
9 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks for Chris Todd, our Polaris hardest working player. But he's done a great job of really absorbing this offense and taking it to heights that I don't know that they imagined when the season began.
That's Corey Sykes with a quick burst.
Number 7, Corey Sykes on the carry.
And the carry gets it up over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Young man is a sophomore, had 38 yards at Army last week. But what a night tonight. That speed has been outstanding. He's now has 5 carries for 32 yards.
Well, he's the young man that gives them the opportunity to score from anywhere on the field. They don't have a lot of those guys this season at Ball State. They got a number of receivers that can work the zones and get open, and we've seen some of that. But this is the one guy that kind of gives them that explosiveness that any offense needs.
First down as Sykes moves the chains. And you can see him looking up to his left. He's watching the replay on the video board. Hey, I look pretty good on that one.
Now he's seeing if he hit the hole properly.
He'll get it for a 3rd straight time.
Got a good block there, Bob, on the outside.
Yes,
whenever you run the football, we've seen it from Auburn, and we're seeing a little bit here now that Sykes gets out on the perimeter. You got to block out on the edge, and got a good block that time from Terrell Gibson, the slot receiver.
Myquail Lewis getting the breather, and his understudy Sykes taking center stage. Now he'll come off after 3 straight carries. Eric Williams comes back as the tailback. Burger Daniel Ift, his first catch, penalty flag. As we get the call here, Kalen Woods.
After the play was over, personal foul on the defense, number 51. The penalty is 15 yards from the end of the run and includes an automatic first down.
So that was Watson Downs,
yeah,
51.
Coach Chiswick is coaching him now. He just said that that's not very smart. That's not how we play. Coach Chiswick going to take every moment he can possibly get to coach these kids.
To the 24-yard line after the penalty. And another penalty flag. That's a face mask, I believe. Williams, right before the whistle, had the face mask grabbed. As Gene was telling us yesterday, Dave.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 95. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and includes an automatic first down.
He and his coaches are still in a learning mode about this ball club. Every experience is a new one.
Yeah, and this was another new experience. Again, another delay. His team got off to a slow start. They turned the football over there on the field, got down 7-0, and responded. I think he's going to learn more about his team next week when they have to go on the road to Tennessee. That'll be a different experience. They played at home the first 4 weeks of the season.
Pass is caught by Daniel Ift. Down to the 6. Antoine Hood made the tackle. So Tanner Justice in a quarterback for Ball State. Clock rolling at 4:10. I think Ball State's going to come with some takeaways from this game offensively.
Yeah, and they're going to. It's a great film for them because they're going to see, the best of the best when you start talking about athletic teams that they're going to play against. Auburn will be better than anybody. They play athletically, so it's a great opportunity for them to make some plays, get some of the speed and strength.
Williams with a tough yard to the 5. And again, some of the backups. This is Gabe McKenzie, who has switched this week back over to the defensive side after beginning the year as a receiver. Gabe McKenzie, the senior from Mobile, getting into some playing time for his new assignment at defensive end.
Well, he's a guy that's not foreign to the defensive end spot. He made a huge play last year against LSU An interception early in the game that put Auburn up. LSU ultimately won that game late, but he's no foreigner to the defensive end position.
Justice pressured, and he is sacked. D. Ford.
Boy, how about that closing speed on that? This is our auto owners insurance defensive coverage, and why not? D. Ford comes in and makes the play. Closing speed from the defensive end spot. That's our auto owners insurance defensive coverage of the game.
A 33-yard attempt officially on the field goal try. The Garvey's kick is good.
A 33-yard kick is good.
So Ball State gets to 30 points in a season best with 2:21 to play.
The score, Auburn 54, Ball State 30.
Well, Dave Archer, what are your takeaways from Auburn's evening?
Well, I think we've seen a number of good things that this team has been able to accomplish. Obviously, it starts with the quarterback play. Chris Todd has done a great job of taking care of the football, getting the ball distributed to a number of players. Terrell Zachary's ability to make big plays, and that offsets what they've already seen from Darvin Evans early in the season. But they have to shore up their special teams. That has been an Achilles heel for them here in the first 4 weeks. Fortunately for them, they have not cost them a game, but it certainly can put you behind the 8 ball in a big game, and they're going to play a big game next week. They cannot afford the mistakes. They have to shore up their special teams. But I think if you talk to Coach Chizik after the game, I think he would tell you, you know, we're still working. We still got a lot of things to take care of, a lot of things to improve. We're not anywhere near where we want to be. And I think that's true, but I think they're a lot closer to where they want to be than they were at the beginning of the season.
You see Jay Boulware, the special teams coach, and they know what's ahead. This will be returned from the goal line out to the 24. We spoke with Coach Chizik yesterday about being Mr. Fix-It for the special teams.
The meat of this SEC schedule is coming up after this week. So we have to get through this week, and we have to show all the signs of improvement, in my opinion, to lead us into the month of October with some confidence that when we hit the meat of the league schedule, that we're able to compete with everybody else. And right now, we need to continue to grow in a lot of ways to be able to do that.
The SEC tests are right around the corner, and it begins in Knoxville. Now, they've got, of course, one SEC win in their back pocket. That came here 2 weeks ago over Mississippi State.
Yeah, that begins to look more and more like an impressive win, what Dan Mullen's got going on in Starkville with their effort in a game that it certainly looked like they had an opportunity to beat LSU. LSU makes a goal line stand and keeps Mississippi State out of the end zone to preserve a 30-26 win earlier today. So that win here by Auburn over Mississippi State looks more and more impressive. But certainly when he talks about the meat of the schedule, they get right into it next week. Knoxville next week, and then they have to go to Razorback Stadium in 2 weeks.
So the Tigers running it out. Bailey Woods, the ball carrier.
Talking specifically about what Gene was talking about in that clip right there, I think that there will be some confidence from an offensive standpoint, the way they've played the first 4 weeks of the season, certainly the way they responded tonight. I think they saw some signs defensively, but I think he'll still tell you that they're not where they want to be defensively, and they'll have to really buckle down this week. And then I think he'll tell you that he is appalled at how he's playing on special teams, and they're really going to have to work on that.
Stallworth to the 28, and it will be 4th down.
Tackle number 24, Theon Dixon.
Down to 30 seconds, and I believe the Tigers, yes, the play clock has not yet started, so looks like the clock is going to run out on this one and the ball game will be over. But you got to give it to the Tigers offensively, Dave. They continue to rack up the yards and rack up the points.
Well, and I thought that the defense did a nice job early because there's some sudden change situations that they had to respond to. Didn't get it done after the fumble punt, but certainly did a number of times later on in the game. So some things to hang their hat on there. For Ball State, great opportunity to get some work against a great football team, better than I think they're going to see all year, and they'll be ready to go for the MAC conference.
Stan Parrish comes to midfield to shake the hand of Gene Chizik, and two veteran coaches shake hands at midfield. That will do it from the Plains tonight. A weather delay, a little bit of a delay before Auburn got things rolling, but in the end, the Tigers put 54 points on the board and win it by 24. Washington State, USC for many of you coming up next. For Jen Hildreth, Dave Archer, and our entire crew from Auburn, Alabama, this is Bob Rathman thanking you for joining us, saying so long from Auburn.